This game contains flashing lights. If you have epilepsy, you have to close the game. Well, too bad, because we have epilepsy. And every video game is an epilepsy trigger. So, I accept the possibility of risk and seizure, I suppose. Undertale, no more deals. Fighting against my hero. Oh, I think I killed it. I didn't know that that was what happens when you push reset. I guess it is the closest thing to the genocide strike. Howdy. How are you, Essie? Don't wound up and anxious. We're getting help from one of our partners to help keep us company. It's helping. I'm glad you have that support. Welcome to the weekend. Happy Friday. I'm Riskbyte. I use they them pronouns. This is the Fluffbyte entertainment system. +18+, kink enthusiasts, anarchists, lowly trouble con streamers. And huge fans of the slaughter. This is a Undertale fangame. It's as comfortable as it looks. So spoilers for Undertale? Yeah, that. We cannot go back now. There isn't any point in doing that. Determination. I can actually answer this question of the day. Yes, I did make some fan fiction. Lucky Nights, which was a Lucky Star and 3.5 D&D Pathfinder adventure story. I sadly lost it when my computer died on me. Damn, that sucks. Alright, question of the day is, have you ever made or consumed fanfiction? Combing our memories at a glance, I don't think we've ever made fanfiction, but we want to. We've certainly read it. Apparently we were addicted to age regression and like humiliation fix. Maybe like some hurt and comfort. D. Greyman, Yasha, maybe some Digimon. Big Sis has been into Deltarune fanfiction lately. No surprise. And stuff that has been that she's been showing us has been kind of peak. It's actually pretty great. We've definitely consumed fanfiction. Oh, consumed, yes. Mostly MLP stuff in the past. Oh, MLP stuff. Oh yeah, I got tea that's like that blended especially for the stream. It's like a tonic. How strange. I've never seen a flower cry before. I'm confused on why it ran away so suddenly. Was it trying to warn me about... Oh, howdy. It's funny. You must be what the flower was trying to... I see. Excuse me for my rudeness, but what kind of monster are you? Forgive me, it's just hard to tell from your appearance. But I'm sure you're kind at heart. How about we relax and enjoy a nice cup of... But I don't understand. Why would you... See? I never betrayed you. It was all a trick, see? I was waiting to kill him for you. After all, it's me, your best friend. I'm helpful. I can be useful to you. I promise. I won't get in your way. I can help. I can... Please don't kill me. Greetings. I am Chara, the demon that comes when people call its name. It doesn't matter when. It doesn't matter where. Time and time again, I will appear. I must say, I'm quite impressed. You made quick work of everyone who stood in your way. Even the king was powerless when it came to your strength. Your determination. Now, there's no one in our way anymore. It's just you and me, Chara. But none of that matters, not anymore. Together, we shall erase this pointless world and move on to the next. Is something wrong? What's with that look? Oh, so that's how it is. I suppose I'll take that as a no. It seems that you let that power of yours get to your head. If that's the case, it looks like we won't be reaching an agreement anytime soon. Flowey was right about you. You really are an idiot. But nobody came. You tell Chara that their actions mean nothing. Chara only smiles back. You hear nothing but echoes of the past. Chara, 99 attack, 99 defense. The first human to ever fall underground. The one that is truly in control. You're nothing but echoes of the past. I really hope you don't start regretting your actions now, partner. In case you forgot, you made your choice long ago! How truly unfortunate. Although, you shouldn't be surprised. After all, you chose this path. So, if you want to blame anyone, blame yourself. Very well. Your funeral. "44. The number they have is 44. And the finger bone has 43 on it. I've been making one for the caves of Clud setting. A story following a goat folk that escaped a lab, marked with the number 35 on their right shoulder, and carries around a finger bone with the number 44. Okay. Sounds interesting. We need to play Caves of Clud again. That's like a whole endeavor. I really hope you don't start regretting your actions now, partner. In case you forgot, you made your choice long ago! You can feel your sins ache from your heart. Way too shallow. At first I was confused. Our plan failed, didn't it? You ate the butterscotch pie. Your HP was maxed out. Nobody came. I swear, it goes by faster. It didn't make any sense. I was sure we both died that day. But then suddenly, I was able to open my eyes. I was sure that I loaded my save point after we died. But I was wrong. And when I tried to get up, I couldn't. I couldn't move my body. I couldn't do anything but look around the flowers. But when I realized the sudden rush of determination, it wasn't my soul telling me to get up, but yours! Death after death. I really hope you don't start regretting your actions now, partner. Wow. Okay, that one's pretty much learned. Almost. So many ouchies. In the beginning, I was fine with my current contingent. After all, the only thing I could do was stand by idly and watch from a distance, narrating the world around you. What? What? We were trying to get controllers set up for playing this game, but it was just having too much trouble. So I'm doing this on keyboard, though I don't want to exactly be like I would have won by now or anything. fun fact, we've actually never beaten the genocide route of Undertale, so we have not proven ourselves as a competent Undertale style game hard mode player. And I swear this thing moves faster than Undertale does. Definitely worse games for our epilepsy. But maybe I'm just making excuses. There's a reason I decided to play this game first. Oh, you can feel your sins ache from your heart! I wonder if Chara's still narrating. The smell of dust fills the air. Well, Asgore did literally just die in here. Well, that makes sense. Death after death. So we've been doing a zine about Undertale and Deltarune and Profiction, actually. We would have finished it if not for feeling the need to do that essay that we made yesterday, kind of posted about today, about like intersectional community solidarity. But it's interesting because it's sort of the premise of the thing we need to finish for it, which is an essay, is like the concept of largely feeling one way, but then having like a small exception. And it was like pro-fiction for us for the longest time. It was like, oh yeah, no, like fiction is fiction as long as it wasn't made with like, you know, real people in it. You know, like this taboo stuff is fine. And it's like it doesn't, you know, it doesn't have a reflection on your morals. But as opposed to it being like a sexuality thing, like with, or a sexualization thing with most people, because most people, for instance, like will be like, oh yeah, no, video games don't cause violence, but like certain sorts of porn definitely cause XYZ, right? But instead for us it was like, oh, like questionable stuff is okay, but if you did the genocide route in Undertale, you might be a bad person. And it's like a thing we like felt about ourselves though too. So it was like this weird sort of self-hate, and it took a while to just go, oh wait, doing the genocide route one way or the other doesn't actually mean you're a bad person. Like, thinking about that, and like the people who feel at least a little bit superior because they either didn't finish it, like we did, like quitting the Sans fight after, like, you know, gets to you emotionally or whatever. It was just a really fascinating way to like revisit those ideas and think about it, because we believe that, you know, like fiction doesn't cause harm, but it would be silly to say fiction doesn't affect people. I mean, Undertale and Deltarune are like super duper popular, and they talk about this sort of stuff in terms of fiction and reality and how one affects the other. And, you know, Deltarune is definitely certainly about like making your own worlds and falling into them. Shit, I mean, Deltarune has some stuff in common with like Evan Youngin in like an existentialist way, and definitely like a celebration of a fictional world, but also like within its narrative, like sort of like a meditation on like the harmfulness of like overindulging and stuff like that. And I think like a carryover from those feelings we're talking about, like with like Genocide Run, like reflecting you as a person or whatever. It's like the idea of identifying with villains, because some villains are redeemed, you know, like a lot of characters in the Steven universe become redeemed heroes, like Paradox, right? But people who like identify with like William Afton or like, oh man, I stan him. Like sometimes it makes a person pause and go, like, especially if you're in a fandom and it's like you know very well what a character is like, and it's like, oh, I'm not sure how to take that. And it's been interesting to process that, because we used to be married and we didn't have normal wedding rings, and the things we had were symbols from a well-known intellectual property, and ours was a good symbol, and our partner's was an evil person's symbol. And sometimes someone would see them in public and go, oh, I know I shouldn't be your friend because you're part of the evil faction. And it's it's weirdly sincere, but also beautifully absurd. What type of doujinshi do you think Gaster likes? Oh man, no one's asking any basic demographic questions about a Gaster. Like, what's Gaster's favorite flavor? What's Gaster's blood type? Doesn't your arm get tired? interesting because, like, there's there's cross-meta conversations going on when you do stuff like that. And I think it's natural to have, like, sort of a sort of reaction to someone, like, identifying with a character or projecting a character onto you. We have a friend that is also very into Undertale and Deltarune, and we don't have the heart to tell them that the character we think they're the most like is Birdly. And we don't necessarily think of that as an insult. But we know that their first, when they hear that, they're gonna go, what the fuck do you mean? How dare you? I'm Noelle, obviously. How it goes. But we identified with Azrael so much that we had a headmate want to name themselves after them. And then also waffle between that name and the name of Akechi from Persona 5. And was pressured out of this. Like, you can't be naming yourself bad people. That's fucked up. It's like, hello, hi, I'm Darth Vader. How are you? Well, no, you know, sometimes nerds also change their name. Just because they want the name of a fictional character, irrespective of any other identity cohesion. And we knew someone who was like, man, I dated someone named who changed their legal name to Anakin, like Anakin Skywalker, and they really lived up to their name. You know, it's like, of course, someone who would be an asshole would identify with that character. Oh my god. Alright. Yo, I made it. I'm super bad and super activated. And I'm excited for the banger stream. Good fighting. Death after death. So, I want to make a game in the Deltarune engine. Someone remade Hollow Knight in the Deltarune engine. There's like a whole streamlined app for it. Like, someone basically made like a game maker fork, I guess is what you would probably call it. That just was like, okay, here's all the stuff that is in Deltarune, and you can use the rooms, and you can use the fucking thingies. You can create like fight maps and all this shit, and it's just like no programming required. And it's like, oh gosh. So now when you see fucking little animations that just is like, damn, this looks just like Deltarune. Damn, how'd they make this look just like Deltarune? Someone might be just using that engine to make cutscenes for their like fucking creepypastas and shit. And did you know that there's a fucking ARG? There's like 10 different ARGs. We should watch some of those ARGs. There's some ARGs for Deltarune. They're fucking insane. I'm sorry you're doing bad, Genesis. Being activated can be challenging. Almost. I will not regret it, partner. I mean, we're thinking when we think about opposition to the genocide, when we think about Genesis, obviously, because you have like a whole thing, like you have a whole like philosophical branch of thinking that's all about response to Undertale and mercy. And I guess it's the opposites attract sort of thing. Like literally, you're the first star of Chara, I guess. Because sitting here wanting to play this game, part of it was just like, oh, I just get to look at Chara all day? Oh, this is great. Please. I want to stare into Chara's eyes. Or eye. I'm gonna fucking die here, aren't I? Honestly, getting to the like NES, SNES, Game Boy like ROM hacking scene and adjacent stuff is probably gonna be super fucking cool. I'm gonna idle here for a little bit because this game over screen has some nice shit to it. I'm also just enjoying the vibe. I don't know if y'all are. What do you think of the new overlay? I made it myself. We got other stuff to work on, so our like complete overlay rebrand is probably gonna be put off until next year. I mean, it's not that much year left, to be fair, but we want to actually finish some projects before the end of the year, so we're probably gonna focus on some of that. I don't know if we're gonna like make a game of the year list or something. It's gonna be kind of hard. Half the games we would put on it is probably games is legitimately games we haven't finished. The new overlay looks really good. Whenever anyone says Chara, like a Chara, I can't help but picture a Charmander with a knife and a little sweater. Oh, that would be an interesting art. Chara. Mander. We've seen people talk about the like morality of Chara and how Chara isn't bad and pure evil, and the ways that people tend to characterize them are like very holistic. And although far from a perfect kid, much like Chris and Deltarune as a kid, mischievous for sure, maybe even willing to cause pain to others, maybe even enjoy it a little. Ooh, sadistic. But like destroying the world is an interesting thing, though I won't get super into it right now. There is a lot of like the context of you awakening in them bloodlust that the no mercy route would not happen if not for the player wanting it to happen, or barreling towards that and taking the encouragement, sure, but Chara was just gonna narrate, but you had to go and want to go on a killing spree, you know? And it's like the character didn't go on a killing spree when they were alive. And in fact, if you do believe that Chara is the first human, they literally killed themselves in order to quite possibly make sure monsters were safe by killing all humans. But that's conjecture. what's not conjecture is they definitely did try to kill a bunch of humans. And the reason that Azrael died was because Azrael was not willing to do that and was restraining them. So there's a lot of unexplored space to what happened. Some people have even tried to make fan games, all canceled, trying to explore this, like, the time that Chara was alive. And it's an interesting part of the mythos. And because there's that space that hasn't been played with in the canon narrative, the characterization that people are left with is generally mostly genocide run related. Because Frisk also exists. And most people, or I don't know if I want to say most people, a lot of people don't want to do the genocide run. A lot of people who finish it don't like that they did, or feel very bad about it. And even people who didn't do the genocide run feel a very have a very sacred relationship with Undertale, to the point where they refuse to play Undertale again because they don't want to disturb the fabric of the fiction of the agreed upon kayfabe? Parasocial delusion? Words that sound less insulting. Because we aren't exactly immune to it. But whatever it is, there's some people have this, you know, this kind of little pact with themselves that, you know, yeah, Flowey was right. You are gonna disturb the fabric of the universe, use them as your playthings, and you know that's canon to the world. So you want to respect them and not do that. But I'll watch a genocide stream. Oh no, I'll watch as a spectator. You can put in some popcorn. That's another layer of discourse I have known, especially because Undertale specifically, it has like some script in it that makes characters at the very least was it maybe Sans or Flowey? There's some character that knows you're streaming when you're streaming Undertale and says stuff that they will not say unless you have OBS or something running. We've never streamed vanilla Undertale, actually, and that's actually a whole story, because Undertale is also very sacred to us. But we do plan to replay it soon. We want to contextualize our existence with it, especially because I exist. Thank you for calling me gay for having empathy. You're welcome. I hope you don't start regretting your actions now, partner. Psychopath for empath. Let's go. Come on, you want to be psychopath for empath with me, don't you? That's a ship dynamic, right? Oh, I dodged a knife. Hell yeah. You know, there's a lot of fan communities we wanted to, or fan projects we wanted to experience before now, and it wasn't that we were just like, oh no, they're bad or something, but we just had this feeling of like, I don't know, you ever felt like you're not a fan enough to do a thing, but not in a way where it's like, I'm not actually not into it, it's just like, the proposition of like a certain level of involvement immediately goes, wait, this is on a whole nother level. It's one thing to have your own pacifier, but it's a whole nother thing to buy a case of diapers. Same thing. It's one thing to play Undertale once. It's another thing to seek out every fucking fan thing and side project. It's another thing to make Undertale or Deltarune sound your ringtones. Undertale is a parasocial powerhouse. Steak. Psychopath or empath is gonna be stuck in the head all night now. In the beginning, I was fine with my current contention. After all, the only thing I could do was stand idly by and watch from a distance, marrying the world around you. Boom 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 boom. Let's do funeral. You call for help, but nobody came. You call for help, but nobody came. Oh, wait. When I call for help, but nobody comes, you do this? I didn't know that. It's an interesting way to train me. I haven't even gotten blasted. Maybe it's because I'm so pitiful? Oh gosh. Oh. It's like, this is a pity. That's a pity. That's a dance. Because it also happens when I use the butterscotch pie. Okay, now I'm starting to understand. This is probably how Undertale works too. I don't know if every enemy has those distinct like responses, but like, yeah, this is interesting. I'm being stupid. I misunderstood. Oh, call you gay for having empathy. Call for help but nobody came actually also triggers this, what was it? Hat in Time. It's insane that Toby Fox invented a whole genre of RPG. I don't know, it's like just so distinct. But honestly, the real root is like Earthbound, and then like the branches that branch off from that are insane. But Undertale like has a big branch. I mean, there's even just folks who use the same sort of like dodgy mini-gamey combat in their game, and it just doesn't work the right way. Like they implemented it as a way to nod to Undertale and how it works, but they don't fully understand the finesse or honestly the storytelling, and it's hard. Especially if you're the type of person who would much rather play a game like this, but it be way more straightforward and not have to, I don't know, if you do an action that doesn't do anything, have really good reflexes or whatever to not take damage. You tell Chara that you're sorry, but they didn't care to listen. Okay, so this also gets it. Okay, so there's not... I don't want to do the mercy option, actually. So it's when I fight that they go all out. Right, this triggers them getting aggressive. Because they're like, oh, you're fighting me, you're not a lamb. Alright. Yeah, they didn't even do this before doing it. It's by attacking them and trigger them. And it cements that that's what happened with the red. There's a mercy path too. And in the fashion of this series or cluster, trying to go for a kill run is the harder thing to do. What if I insult you? Oh! New text. New text. You tell Chara that their actions mean nothing. Chara only smiles back. Oh no, that's not no. I'm silly. Oh. Okay, so everything in Act triggers the more passive attacks. And attacking forwards the dialogue, too. I don't know if we mentioned, but we went to a fucking philosophy group. We're starting to go to one regularly. It's on this college campus. And we're mostly with academics, and we're like really the only artists there. Like, there's like folks in the hard sciences, people into like religion and philosophy, like as like concentrations, or like those are the fields that they study or studied. And us and Big Sis come in like casual, like having consumed, like, well, us having consumed philosophy through like the internet, largely YouTube videos, and some reading. Mostly we've done with Big Sis. Big Sis is much more well read, and is much more like very concrete on, or at least very much more understanding of exactly what their like existential philosophical beliefs are. And this is actually the day I was born, because it was a conversation about the soul. Everything has a top. Every meeting has a topic, and everything corresponds about self-inquiry. The group is all about this philosophical self-inquiry about the self, and having a safe and constructive place to like have people like sort of give you questions and sort of challenge your identity, but like not in a shitty way. Not to convince you to take a certain belief, but to give you like to filter against their perspective or an alternate perspective. They're sort of providing a reflection and a refraction, you know? It's an interesting way of discussing. And us and Big Sis were probably... I don't think we were the only queer people there, but we were certainly... We stuck out in more ways than one. We'll say that. And people are talking about their different philosophies and stuff, and then they get around to us, and we've been not so much doodling as our notes also have an illustrative element, and we literally draw fucking Undertale stuff, and it's like, oh, the soul, and use the fucking heart from Undertale and like start like diagram out like different concepts, and then like have notes about like what other people said and how that might sort of deepen our own like frameworks or whatever. And it was really interesting, and they got around to us. We were like showing it as like, oh yeah, and this is our diagram, right? And then trying to fucking explain Undertale through the concept of like the soul as like a vessel of like a symbolic vessel for existence, where it's like, oh yeah, whereas other people were like, oh, the soul is something that is like that some people are like, oh, I don't know, I'm more science-based and proof-based. If someone can prove to me the soul exists, I'll accept it, but I am unsure. And then there are people who are like, I have had a spiritual experience, and I've like looked into certain types of spiritualities, and I've like sort of tried to connect the tangible and the philosophic to the spiritual and stuff like that, and more that way. And then we're over here like, okay, so I play video games, and this one video game has this really interesting concept about the soul, but it's a symbol and it's representative of things, and honestly, I don't really know if a soul exists. But what if you ask me what is the soul, or what constitutes the soul? Let's say it's the framework that we project what me is onto, and whether you think that is a literal intangible thing, or you're like us and it's just like a soul is like gender, you know? It's something we made up to contextualize our existence and to have words and associations to cement out the shape of an identity, like a lot of things. And so for us, it's like, ah, yes, the soul is the romantic poetry of the self. Anyway, let's kill. Oh, that was an upside down heart. I just now noticed that there's an upside down broken monster heart in the There's an upside down broken monster heart in the attack reticule. That's what I was gonna say. My Sorry, I can't talk and attack at the same time. This is mostly about learning to memorize it right now. The fucked up thing about the chassis rune zine is that it was supposed to be this simpler thingy, cause like, oh yeah, we'll just put all the chassis rune submissions in one place. And like sort of talk about them. And then we got to the end and it's like, well, I want to talk about like the central like thesis of like, you know, what we were talking about before. Menu text. Menu text. What did I do that for? Forcibly moves me to the center, huh? You hear nothing but red text. Oh, that's a good question now. Does anyone have any fucking fictives that you're embarrassed about? I don't know if I'm the most embarrassing fictive in my system. Well, embarrassing for the cringe crime of being a victim. There's a certain sort of shame in it, I suppose. Same thing with kenning, I guess. Although that's just our how do I say it? We have a particular social trauma around it. Okay, so you do these ones healing too. It's actually the game's way of giving me a little bit of a break when I'm not doing an attack. Any fictives you're embarrassed about? I mean, I guess it only applies if you're plural. Although the alternative was any kin types you're embarrassed about. Definitely have a lot of feelings positive towards Chara, so that's interesting. But it's so messy with the links between Chara, Chris, Mason Frisk. It's like if someone was like a Heather Mason kintype or fictive and was like, oh, well, I'm Heather Mason, but I'm not unless I'm Gillespie. But they probably feel, more towards one. Blue knives. Only touch you when it moves. If I had to heal over time something, that would be so fucking awesome. Cause then I would have even more incentive to use like item or act. I was like, I guess I just gotta get good. I seem to be playing at least a little bit ergonomically. I thought my wrist was gonna hurt like hell. But it's a little bit elevated. No! I've been taking a little bit of a break between tries. We've actually been on a slow burn of escalation of our Undertale and Deltarune fandom. We kept it locked away because, well, locked away? We were neglecting it. Almost like a fucking rhythm game. No, I can't say I was surprised when you decided to spare them. From everything I knew about humans, I was sure you were going to kill them from the beginning, but you didn't. I almost survived. Damn, I guess I forwarded through a text that I didn't actually read yet. Alright. I think there's also a reflection of our fandom in Amori with our fandom with Undertale, because even though we didn't finish the genocide run, we feel a weird connection to it. Or at least a weird connection to what someone proposed with sort of a... Think of a child that has been so hurt and so wrong that they think the only way to be safe is to kill the entire world. And that they can only feel safe through distancing themselves and seeing the world through a lens of video game mechanics. Just one interpretation. But during the 10th anniversary stream, Toby Fox did say Chara was the last one that needed to be spared. That needed to be saved. Also, I think it's really funny that they're the most high-profile fan games, and there are a fair number of them, all technically have better graphics than Undertale. It's actually insane. But the difference between Undertale and Deltarune's like production value is like so different. Deltarune is super high. We also looked at sprite sheets today for some references and for stuff to make the thumbnail, and wow. Fucking insane. Even just like, well, I mean, we actually looked at a lot of different ones, but there was one for like, there was a sprite sheet for like chapter 3 and 4, and we were just looking at them and just like, wow, that's a lot of shit. I fucked up. Press the wrong key. Make sure you drink water while you slaughter. It'd be better if I did it sooner rather than later so I can learn the patterns instead of focusing on survival so much right now. And actually getting a hit in, because I doubt I'm gonna take them down in one hit. Only Sans has money, as we all know. Wonder how Sans is gonna fuck my mom. probably suck at fucking darts. I mean, darts is definitely a skill. Also, you don't really have to beat a game to be deeply affected by it. Technically, you don't even have to play a game to be deeply affected by it. We've been deeply affected by Five Nights at Freddy's, and we played like 5 minutes of the first game, and that's pretty much it. I couldn't move. I looked around. All I could do was look at the flowers, but then I realized a certain rush of determination. It wasn't my soul telling me to get up, but it was yours. I'm fucking so good. I'll stay alive for like a couple more seconds. Still taking about the same amount of damage from that. I wonder if Paper Mario just died. Hold my breath when I get that close. Then suddenly I was able to open my eyes again. I was sure that I loaded my save point after we died, but I was wrong. When I tried to get up, I couldn't. I couldn't move my body. But I couldn't do anything but look at the flowers. When I realized a sudden rush of determination. It wasn't my soul telling me to get up, it was yours! The knives on this kid. There's no way I'm surviving that. Practice makes determination. Wow, I actually survived without getting hit by those knives. 63, that's better than 51. Practice makes nerds thick. Oh, right, because, the heart. Asriel's heart with Chara's absorbed into it. I've been gutted like a pig already. The beef butchered. Love it. Tag string is so gnarly. I can't say I was surprised when you decided to spare them. From everything I knew about humans, I was sure you were gonna kill them from the beginning. But you didn't. Oh, talking about Asriel now. Instead, you befriended every monster you came across, including those who would be unredeemable. You even chose to spare him of all people, no matter how many times he tried to hurt us. No matter how many times he killed us. Oh boy! Hurt people. Say it with me, chat. When I saw you achieved your happy ending, I thought it would be the end. After all, you got everything you wish to accomplish. Oh my god! Damn, kid. As far as I made it. I thought you would be overjoyed by your accomplishment. But the only thing I saw from your face was satisfaction. Oh. Ah, okay. This is a cool one. This is a cool one. Pie I have. I should be so dead. And I'll be starting to catch up again. So this is assuming you played Undertale in the right order. I'm only doing genocide last. Oh, I'm not surviving this. Oh. Never mind. Yeah, it does say something about someone to show mercy to a cop that tries to kill you for being an immigrant. Thinking about it. One way to frame it. Oh, hurts you when you take damage there no matter what. Did not know that. Haven't thrown this one at me in a while. Yeah, we have to take this tune out with that skating. The OST is on Game Jolt, along with the game, I think. I fell off rhythm. Lost my groove like Cusco. Oh no, the whole movie is about him getting a new groove, not him losing his groove. I mean, but he does complain about people coming off his groove all the time. Oh yeah. Forever ago we mentioned Amori and how we played it reflects the weird affinity we have for Genrout. Genrout. Sorry, Genesis. Genocide route. I have the worst brain worms ever. When we first played Amori, we got the fucking Hikikomori route our first time. And finished the game like, oh, so I'm doomed. The rest of my life is suffering. Wow, great game, 10 out of 10. And then someone's like, hey, I think that's the bad ending? And it's like, oh shit. And when, oh, I just have to go back, like, I don't know, like a couple of hours or like the last dungeon and like talk to an NPC or find some item or do some side quests and then unlock it, right? And it's like, oh no, you locked yourself out of it like 10 hours ago. Oh, okay. And then we had to start a whole new fucking game from scratch to go to get the good ending. And we were, you know, at the height of our Hikikomori phase. And it was just like so resonant in the most painful way possible. And definitely love Black Space. so cool. I love black space. Where was that knife going? That knife was drunk. I don't know if you know what knife I was looking at, chat, but one of those knives was really drunk. I was like, where the fuck did you thought you were hitting me? Where was I when you were targeting me? So since we did that, we've been, particularly had a deep fascination with the quote-unquote bad route, especially when the bad route isn't necessarily the split, because, what was it, like, Knights of the Old Republic, or, like, I don't know, BioWare games that just have the, like, good, bad sort of thing. It's interesting when games do a non-dualist approach to it. Yeah, I'm about to run out of tea. That's okay. You know, I can't believe I've been playing this for like almost 2 hours and I have not fucking got it in the middle once. Fucking dead. I guess we'll try to salvage this by doing the passive path, maybe, though. Not the passive path. The don't try to kill them path, but I'd really rather do the kill path first. I'm challenged. I could take the easy way out. Instead of having to practice this or figure out how to get the controller working. I'm having to run this through line because I'm a Linux bitch. Unfortunately. Switching over to Linux is like, switching your dating pool because of the sexuality switch almost. So many things are less compatible to you or don't apply to you anymore, apply to you in such limited ways. There's certainly technical ways to do things, but they just don't work as well. And sometimes you have to have a specially designed thing. And you're just always you're always on the default thing of the world is not to accommodate you. And you're just like, fuck though. And people will tell you, oh, it's so much more work to accommodate you though. And you're like, oh, you're right, I'm sorry for complaining about not being accommodated for. Oh, I'll just do all my workarounds the community has done to facilitate me being able to do almost anything. Oh, why does someone need a Linux version? Why can't you just use Wine? Because I don't want to use Wine for everything. everything we played today, we were gonna play online. And we found, workarounds? Oh, this is a mini version of the bigger one I'm about to get hit with. Unbelievable, we're gonna accidentally become like a fucking Deltarune streamer. A Chara rune streamer? I don't know. Our existence is so weird and fucked up now. I am the emptiness. I am the reverse polarity of their heart. I am the self, aching to be born. I'm right here. Skate! Wait, wrong answer. Although Persona fucking Deltarune AU, let's go. Still wrong anime. Die Hat. Man. Honestly, you know what also has a weird cross with a Die Hack, like Beyblade? Being an Epitaph user is kind of like having a Bit Beast. Tapping into your childhood stat. You know what else is like Deltarune? Code Lyoko. Or I guess Code Lyoko, Deltarune is like Code Lyoko, not the other way around, I guess. I don't know, I'm trying to trigger you into reliving your childhood, I guess. Is it working? Can you taste the flavor of Tang? Well, I guess it depends on what your childhood consists of. Maybe if not Tang, you had Capri Sun. I know they still make those little Kool-Aid single shot thingies. When we were in high school, I know we were like addicted to this drink called Calypsos. Oh, too fast on the trigger. Well, this isn't the one that gets super punished on. You hear nothing but echoes of the past. Oh. One of those dodges is really weird. It didn't fully go through the other side. What's Valgress? I have no idea what is that a UFO 50 game? I know you've been playing UFO 50. I've seen it in your Discord. The lesson spy on you. Steak. dodge the pity attacks. Somehow. No more health items. Damn. Ew. Minute Maid at Capri Sun was a nostalgia drink. Gotcha, gotcha. Used to be if we got like a fucking box of Capri Suns, it was like a fucking it was a whole event. But nobody came. I am being reminded. Honestly, every fucking for Undertale, I feel like any attempt at doing a fight, a boss fight, is overshadowed by the Ghost of Sands, because every fight has to match up to it if it's gonna be a hard fight. Well, and Undines. Although I think the boss fight with Gerson in Chapter 4 of Deltarune has pretty much anything where you have to block for Susie's heart is is reminiscent of Undine. Fucking bye. This is actually my favorite one. It's actually sort of calming. It's sort of hypnotic, I think. And it makes me have to bob up and down. Knife hypno? God. Death after death. Oh, it doesn't hurt you if you don't take any damage during the knives. When it moves you over, it doesn't do you any damage, maybe? Or maybe it only damage you if you try to move while they're moving. It's hard to tell. Discipline takes on a whole new meaning. That was a perfect dodge, I was gonna say. Get my fucking words. I'm dodging for a little bit. Also, the juice barrels. Oh, we remember the juice barrels. The juice barrels remember you. The ones with the little foil on the top you poke your finger through. Or a straw, I guess. If you're a coward. Maybe your teeth. You just chew a little bit and just suck it out. Like a wound. Pretty good shape, but taking those attacks is not help. Oh right, that last one is a doozy. thought you would be overjoyed by your accomplishment, but the only thing I saw from your face was dissatisfaction. What's that? What's that? You decided to erase your perfect ending and play through this world once more. But this time, you didn't spare anyone but decided to kill them all. Just to see what would happen. To see what would change. To say I was in complete shock would be an understatement. That reverses the controls when that happens. You hear nothing but echoes of the past. And the more I watched you kill, the more your level of violence and stats began to rise. The more I understood why. Soon enough, I even began enjoying it. Encouraging your actions as you turn them all to dust. It's funny, in embracing your genocide and giving in to your influence, I became the very thing I despised the most. I became a monster. The smell of dust fills the air. Honestly, the whole underground must be dusty as fuck right now. Not gonna lie. That's probably the last text I'm gonna get. But regardless, I suppose telling you this wouldn't change anything, would it? After all, you're just gonna keep going until you become bored with this world once again. But that's no longer the case. Even if I kill you, you've come back as if it never happened in the first place. And to be completely honest, this is getting rather troublesome. Made it to a new beat map. Well, this is a great time to say again, hi, this is Riskbyte of the Fluffbyte Entertainment System, and we are doing some Underrune casting today, I guess. Been playing Undertale No More Deals. Getting lectured about the genocide run, because of course. How are you all doing? We're going forward with my funeral. like it is a fan game made probably Game Maker. If you want to find cool fan games of any kind, and just a lot of cool shit that even is not necessarily on itch.io, really recommend Game Jolt, where this game calls home. Knife tricks. Ow. Ouchies. Death after death. Obviously not this stream, but are you gonna play through Undertale Yellow? Yes. We played a little bit of it last year, I guess. But not nearly enough. And it definitely has a genocide route, so we gotta play it more than once too. survive that. Oh no! If I get to 3 hours and I haven't gotten any endings, I will switch games. Definitely not a gamer enough. This one's probably a bust. Don't lose the beat. My funeral is pretty cool though. There's speedruns of this game, and like one of the first videos that'll come up when you look this up is probably just like an hour long. I don't know how I feel about that. You get to move for like a millisecond after you die. It's the most surreal thing. It's like that, like, that like 3 seconds that you're still alive after someone cuts your head off. That's what it feels like. So of course I've had my head cut off billions of times. Have you ever had your head chopped or ripped off? I know it's not that common. Usually someone gets like a limb ripped off, you know? A limb ripped off. This is a really bad run. Yeah, my performance is starting to dwindle. Maybe time to switch some. Try to get used to the idea that a stream is worth doing. And worth uploading a lot for, even if we don't, like, make sizable progress, i.e. can easily bookmark a start and an end and be like, this is part 1, this is part 2, this is part 3. Labels the VOD. Undertale, no more deals. Attempt 1. Feel free to answer the question of the day. Maybe if it's interesting enough, it'll send me on a whole ass tangent. Have you ever consumed fan work? Or even made some? I mean, technically speaking, you're consuming fan work right now. Even if it is vicariously through a heartless being. the knives come back down slower than they come up. I actually didn't remember where I was in the text. You know, I can't say I was surprised when you decided to spare them. From everything I knew about humans, I was sure you were gonna kill them all from the beginning. But you didn't. Instead, you befriended every monster you came across, including those who would be irredeemable. You even chose to spare him of all people. No matter how many times he tried to hurt us, no matter how many times he killed us. I wonder if the he is Azrael, or I'm assuming Asgore, obviously. What can I say? I love the Black Parade, I guess. Sometimes I'm so in awe of the attack patterns I forget to look away. I guess maybe in between the next time I'm streaming, I should literally do a call to action to see if anyone else has played this game and on Linux been able to make a controller work. I'm starting to be reminded that we struggled with what's his face? Jevil so much the first time we played Deltarune, we were playing it on a Switch with fucking Joy-Con drift. And you know, the input makes all the difference. Like, if I was Noel, this would be no problem on keyboard. Presumably. Maybe I should toy with other effects too. Maybe I should check again. Check Chara's diaper. It's actually interesting of Chara hating the concept of Chara hating humans, and but also not wanting to be a monster, versus Chris wanting to be a monster, but presumably not having any experience with humans to compare to. Of course, the word monster was also implied to be mean in the not monster the species, but like, oh, we're a monster type thing. Oh yeah, it's fine. I can use any voice that I want. Outside of gags, certain things don't feel euphoric necessarily. Still finding my way. Find my way. And it's like, oh, you ate the steak? Here's a steak knife. Speaking of having the weird feeling of, or the conception of living in a video game or something as a maladaptive or otherwise coping strategy, I think our system has long since mentioned that we have a particular sort of psychosis that we exist in a video game that's been formed and reinforced over a very long time. But thanks to the movie Inception and how Hob has feelings in a dream and being reminded that his wife literally killed herself thinking she was in a dream and killed herself trying to wake up, that it's not worth taking the risk, which is part of our thing. Like, it's not worth taking the risk of doing something irreversible. Usually, is how we feel. Sometimes we have bad days, obviously. It's like, how would you operate if you knew you lived in the Matrix, but you didn't think you'd had it in you to actually get yourself out? Maybe you could make it so you couldn't get taken over by an agent, but outside of that, couldn't board the Nebuchadnezzar or whatever. If I have less than 51 health when I get to that part, I feel like I know I'm dead. Just gotta worry about surviving the Net's attack, and then surviving the Net's attack, and then surviving the Net's attack. Maybe that one's more likely when you max out. That might be. I win the Olympics for getting stabbed. Maybe the bronze for stabbing others. take that as a crashed. Looks like we have an agreement then. I was used up.